But this brother, Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, time has come for the world to recognize this is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet.
Who do you want to see him fight next?
Shakur Stevenson, the fabulous boxer. The punch, I don't think he could take a punch from Gervonta Davis. Yeah. I don't see it. Gervonta Davis might be the best in the world. He can punch. He's a knockout artist. He can box. He's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? And by the way, he is in a...
Smith openly criticized Shakur Stevenson for not signing the contract to fight Gervonta Davis, saying there was no reason to delay the matchup. He insisted that Shakur is not capable of defeating Tank, describing Davis as the better, more dangerous fighter and saying he deserves much more credit and respect for what he has accomplished.
For legitimate fight purposes, Gervonta Davis, to me, is the #1 attraction in boxing. He's the #1 attraction in boxing. He will finish you. Yeah. He will close. And this brother comes, and he's one of those guys. They call him, the mini Mike, as a Mike Tyson. Yeah. He's willing to take a punch to give it now. Yeah. And I haven't seen him hurt. He got bruised. Yep. He might have bruises, but I ain't seen nobody wobble him. I ain't seen him.
Gervonta Davis has repeatedly criticized Shakur Stevenson, calling him a defensive fighter who lacks power and excitement. According to Davis, Shakur does not hit hard enough to entertain fans, and he believes his cautious style fails to capture attention or generate the level of interest that big boxing matches usually attract.
Contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 126.30 or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay.
Rolly Romero also shared his opinion, saying Shakur Stevenson would have no chance against Gervonta Davis. He believes Shakur has not defeated enough top-level opponents to prove he belongs with a fighter like Tank. Romero also praised Davis, saying he has the strongest resume in the 135-pound division.
A better resume than Tank at 135. Loma retired. Yeah, active.
Shakur before he moved on?
Shakur has a better resume.
At 130.
Who has Shakur beat?
But who's Tank really like? Other than that,
everyone Tank's beat became world champion. So tell me, that electrician dude was a good win at 35.
The electrician? What do you want about?
Who he beat? Name me 3 Shakur opponents.
I think Shakur, bro. But when you look at Tank, all right. So all right. Tell me.
Oscar Valdez that had his jaw broken in 2018. That's been burnt out and off the juice for a while now.
So who's Tank's best win? Who's Tank's best win?
There's plenty of them.
Who's Tank's best win?
We all became world champion after.
Romero also spoke about Gervonta Davis's current situation, saying everyone faces difficult times and that people on the outside do not always know the full story, showed his support for Tank, and said he hopes to see him return soon and get back to competing at the highest level.
It's sad, but Gervonta Tank Davis can't stay out of trouble. I know he's been bailed out, but just your thoughts on the whole thing?
Just because his stuff went, everyone done gone into some trouble, you know? Just, I mean, like I said, when you're the big fish, you know, all you gotta do is just keep to yourself, man, in reality. But like I said, at the end of it, we don't know what truly happened or any of that stuff. They could all say whatever, you know, there's 2 sides to every single story.
We'll see him return?
Yeah, well, I want to see Gervonta Davis. Bro, he's one of the most entertaining fighters in boxing.
Is he still as good as, I mean, if you look at the resume, no win in 18 months, etc., is he still as good? Can he still hang?
He fought once in 18 months.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, dude,
I'm saying activity's important in this game.
Okay, well, I mean, he tried to fight, but I mean, things happen, you know?
Against Jake Paul, Rolly.
The what?
Against Jake Paul, though.
Yeah, but so what, man? So what, man?
So you part of the Tank fan club, that's fair.
What?
You're in the Tank fan club.
Bro, I like Tank, bro. Tank's a great fighter, bro. Dude, they all want to talk bad about Tank, but man, dude, then everyone Tank beat ended up becoming world champion.
Mike Tyson gave a strong opinion, saying Gervonta Davis is the only fighter he believes can defeat Shakur Stevenson. He praised Tank's explosive punching power, sharp timing, and aggressive finishing ability, explaining that those qualities could be enough to overcome Shakur's skilled defensive style.
He's a great fighter. Especially when he's serious about it. I don't know if he's as serious as he used to be. When he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. Nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against Shakur and that guy, Gervonta Davis. They're scary fighters too. They're sophisticated. The other guys are sophisticated and mean. But Tank is just the force of nature. You just gotta give him the credit. Even though he's talk stuff, he's the man. Shakur and Tank, oh God, I don't even. It's gonna be interesting because if Shakur handles this guy like he did Lopez, I was in hell with him. I was in hell with Shakur. If he just handles this guy like he does, the hell with him. Somebody gotta give him a fight though, but you gotta be very sophisticated to know how to fight. This is when I know you lost against Shakur. This is when I know you lost. You see when he does this stuff? Once you start doing this stuff and look.
Mike Tyson said a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis would be exciting to watch from start to finish. He explained that Shakur does not need knockout power to win because his boxing skills, movement, and ability to score points could be enough to outbox Tank. Tyson also believes Davis is the kind of opponent who would bring out the very best version of Shakur inside the ring.
Who win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Yeah. Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good fight. I like to go with Tank because of the, everyone's going to go with Tank, but it would be a very interesting fight.
How could, for us that are not boxing analysts, how could Shakur beat him if he can't hurt him? That would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him, you just have to outscore him. Shakur takes a good shot though, he's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat.
So when the speed picks up and the aggression starts,
to bring out the best in Shakur, you gotta pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster.
Smith said he wants Gervonta Davis to move up to the 140-pound division and face tougher opponents. He pointed to fighters like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson, saying Tank has the skill and ability to take over the division. Smith believes Davis should focus on taking on elite competition and building a legacy with the biggest fights available.
Mindset that Tank is so much stronger than people realize, so much more powerful of a puncher than people realize. I want to see him up at the 140-pound limit. Don't make a Ryan Garcia come down to 135. Don't have the hydration clause in there. Yeah. Don't avoid, and he's not avoiding anybody. But I'd also like to see him against a Teofimo Lopez.
Eddie Hearn believes Shakur Stevenson is one of the most overlooked fighters in boxing. He says many fans fail to appreciate his talent because he relies on skill, defense, and ring intelligence rather than chasing knockouts. Hearn believes Shakur's excellent timing, control, and technical ability make him one of the toughest opponents for anyone to beat at the highest level.
Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division.
He praised Shakur Stevenson as one of the best fighters in the 135 to 140-pound divisions, pointing to his outstanding footwork, elite defense, and polished boxing skills. He said Shakur's complete skill set makes him extremely hard to beat and believes any fighter who cannot deal with movement and strong ring IQ will have a very difficult time against him.
Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that, or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not going to engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you got to be able to engage when they need you to engage. You can't, then you're gonna become bored. So he's not boring unless you don't understand boxing. Right? You understand boxing.
With global tensions rising and priorities in boxing continuing to change, Turki Alashik appears to be placing greater focus on major blockbuster fights, especially those involving British stars like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. That shift could have a big impact on fighters such as Shakur Stevenson, who may no longer have the opportunity to take several tune-up fights before being matched against elite-level opponents.
And it was getting paid by Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis, and then he switched over to Paramount Plus, right? And acted like he was going to do both at the same time. Well, with the war in Iran, he can't do either. So that means both of them are up in the air. Now, what does that mean for real fighters? It's okay for real fighters. It's going to work out for just fine for Shakur Stevenson. It's going to work out just fine for guys like Devin Haney, and provided Devin doesn't go over there to Zuffa. It's going to turn out fine for those guys, as long as they can actually win the fights.
Instead, these fighters will likely be expected to jump straight into high-level matchups and prove they belong against the best right away. In the past, champions like Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford were able to build momentum through several fights before reaching their biggest career-defining showdowns.
Going to have to actually fight these tough fights, and they're not going to be able to have 5-6 setup fights before you get to it, because that's the game that I believe Shakur was playing, because that's the game that Floyd Mayweather played. That's the game that Terence Crawford played, where they would take 3, 4, 5 fights before the actual big fight that people are talking about took place. That's what happened with Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. That happened with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Some people, it was both Errol and Terence that did it. Whatever. Still, if both guys did it, then both guys took several fights before that took place, right? Big fights with money, good money in them. So Shakur now can't do that. Cannot do that. Number one, Matchroom Boxing, who's really running DAZN, let's be honest. Matchroom Boxing, which runs DAZN, because Matchroom actually is owned. Matchroom USA is actually owned in part by DAZN and by Sella, who is the Turkey people. They're going to be putting their resources and their efforts into British fighters. The Tyson Fury fight that they want to make with Anthony Joshua, if they can find some way to get that done. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're not going to be looking at the fighters that they had on undercards. It's just that simple. Shakur Stevenson was fighting on undercards for these guys. Devin Haney is fighting on undercards for these guys. Right? Keyshawn Davis fighting on undercards for these guys. Pretty much everybody that was at Top Rank fighting on undercards for these guys. They're not going to prioritize the...
Now, if Shakur Stevenson wants the biggest fights and the highest paydays, he will likely have to take those opportunities sooner and agree to more realistic terms instead of waiting through a long build-up before facing elite competition.
Today, the money is there for Shakur, but the money's going to be with Shakur. He's going to have to tuck his pride. James Prince is going to have to tuck his pride and go over there to the PBC, call Steven Espinoza if Al's not there anymore, and get this fight made. You know, and Shakur is somebody that could win the fight. The thing is that is going to be prohibited is that they're not going to allow Shakur to make 4 and 5, 6 different fights and get $1 million, $5 million each, run up $30 million, and then at the end, let's go for the big one. If you're going to get the big one, you're going to get the big one at a price that is a reasonable price, and then if you can win the fight, after that you become the big dog, right? Because you're the ones with the fans. The reason that Gervonta is the fan right now is because he's got the fan. Is the man right now is because
many experts believe the biggest reason the fight has not happened is the financial side of making a major boxing event a blockbuster fight only comes together when both teams agree on the money split and the promotional terms promoters, broadcasters, and the fighters all need a deal that makes financial sense and guarantees strong revenue. That is why money often becomes the deciding factor in making these matchups happen. If both sides cannot reach an agreement that satisfies everyone involved, the fight is unlikely to move forward no matter how much fans want to see it.
Business. You get fighters, they go back and forth on Twitter and they be like, let's fight. You got to put the business in between that, because fighters will be fighting all the time just because they're arguing back and forth. But the business got to make sense. So it's always about the bag. So that's why I feel like Turki Al-Sheikh come in, because he'll say, hey, here go the money, get these fights to happen. That's why I can't believe that Bud have to move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, and David Benavidez was right there at 168 comfortably. That's why the business of boxing took over. But I respect Shakur for actually saying he want the fight. Where is he at in the 6 fight deal? And where is he at in the 6 fight deal? Is his 3rd fight or something like that with Tank?
It's a good question. It's early. It might be 2 or 3 fights in.
You sure you're not?
Shakur Stevenson said he is completely confident he would win the fight and believes it is the perfect matchup between two of the best fighters in boxing. He explained that when elite fighters face each other, the goal is to prove who has the better skills, timing, and ring IQ. Stevenson welcomed the challenge, calling it a career-defining opportunity to test himself against top-level competition. He also said that having both fighters at the highest level is what makes the fight so exciting for fans, and he is ready to prove why he believes he belongs among the very best in the sport.
At the end of the day, you and Tank is a fight that should happen. It absolutely should happen, and I believe it will. I mean, you guys are both in charge of your career. I think it's a good style matchup. Like you said, the networks are out of the way. The promoters are out of the way. He's flexible. You're flexible. I don't see why it wouldn't happen.
It's the best versus the best.
Absolutely right.
Let's make the best fight in boxing.
And when you guys meet, how does that fight play out?
Man, I ain't gonna give you no game.
You think I'm gonna jump on the phone with Tank right after?
No, I would tell you this. I'm gonna come out victorious.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I stand by.
Okay. That's what you gotta say. You're supposed to say that.
No,
right?
It ain't what I'm supposed to say. Is what.
Sean Porter said that while Gervonta Davis has incredible knockout power, he does not believe that power alone is enough to beat Shakur Stevenson. He explained that elite boxing skills, strong defense, and smart ring control can cancel out a puncher's biggest strengths. According to Porter, Shakur's movement, timing, and ring IQ make him one of the hardest fighters to hit cleanly, forcing opponents to rely on strategy instead of power. He believes Tank's explosiveness is always a threat, but Stevenson's technical ability could help him control the fight, win rounds, and frustrate an aggressive puncher over 12 rounds. Porter added that in matchups like this, discipline and game planning often matter more than knockout power, giving Shakur a real chance to outbox even the hardest hitters in the sport.
Cross Shakur Stevenson, I'm gonna say it here on the front page. And Tank, I love you, brother, and still would love to talk to you.
100.
But when you get in there with Shakur, it's gonna remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury.
Ooh, yeah.
Because what you gonna do when you come across a motherfucker you can't knock out?
Yeah.
Only thing you gonna do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm just saying.
Only reason why I'm saying this is a terrible analogy is because Tank Davis. Remember, you've heard Coach Cal say this all the time. He says it's the same thing, and I know exactly what he means. We just waiting on somebody to pull it out of him. You ever hear him say that?
Yeah, yeah.
We got so much. It's just we ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's gonna pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually.
Shakur Stevenson said a fight between him and Gervonta Davis is bigger than boxing because of the history, rivalry, and excitement surrounding the matchup. He explained that the fight feels inevitable since both of them are considered the best fighters in the division and are expected to face each other at some point. Stevenson believes a fight like this only falls apart if one of the fighters is no longer performing at the highest level or suffers a setback. He also gave Davis credit, saying Tank is much more than a powerful puncher. According to Stevenson, Davis is a smart, experienced, and patient fighter who carefully breaks down his opponents before taking control of the fight.
Bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because like the history and like everything that went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we got to fight. So at the end of the day,
you feel that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So when you got two guys that's the best, how can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take an L. But I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters and on that level.
From a boxing standpoint, what makes Tank Tank? We see the power, but it's got to be more than that.
Nah, he's strategic. He's setting guys up. He been boxing since a little kid, just like I've been boxing since a little kid. And you can tell like with the experience. Even with his last fight with Frank Martin, you can see Frank Martin was more so an amateur. Like the experience he got is not on the level of like Tank. And he just took off with experience. He let him waste his energy, gassed him out. And then round 8, okay, it's time to go home.
When would you like to see that fight happen?
Whenever. I think that I'm ready for it. He ready for it. We both in our primes. It can happen next. It can happen next year. It can happen whenever he say.
Espinoza reflected on Gervonta Davis's career and the major fights that came close to happening but never became reality. He said Davis was on the verge of facing Vasily Lomachenko before the deal fell apart when Lomachenko stepped away from the negotiations. Espinoza also discussed talks involving Shakur Stevenson, explaining that Stevenson wanted a multi-fight agreement rather than a one-fight deal with Tank. He believes those differences in negotiations, along with promotional challenges, have been key reasons why fans have not seen some of boxing's biggest dream matchups. According to Espinoza, financial agreements and contract terms often determine whether elite fights are made.
Fight somebody else, fight somebody quote unquote better, just from the public standpoint. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I certainly get it. And people have a short memory. They tend to forget that, he was very close to fighting Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko pulled out. And there were discussions with Shakur. Shakur wanted a multi-fight deal. He didn't want to do sort of a one-fight deal to fight Tank. So, that doesn't happen. Now, we could revisit Shakur.
What do you think about the Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis situation, and why do you believe the fight still hasn't happened? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know who you think is responsible for the delay and who would come out on top if these two stars finally meet in the ring.